man, 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, player, and coach, Jackie Moon, host of In the Trenches. AQ Shipley's here. AQ, so obviously you played for Arizona under Cliff Kingsbury's guidance. He interviewed for the Chicago Bears job. Now, allegedly, Peter King said that he's interviewing for the Pittsburgh Steelers job. He's back on the circuit doing OC. With the modern offense, he'd win the headlines, I think, if you were to hire Cliff Kingsbury as your offense coordinator.
He's exactly what you want. You want to basically infuse the new age scheme into that Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. They haven't had it in years, and he's so good. I mean, there were so many times he would come up to us and be like, hey, man, this is what I do. I get guys open. And when you turn on his tape, there's guys open all over the field.
Former quarterback, obviously incredibly handsome.
Yep.
Father a Marine. From Texas, just loves ball and looks cool all the time.
So cool. I mean, he's in there at 3:30 in the morning all the time.
Really?
Yeah, he's a grinder.
I don't think anybody talks about that about Cliff because how cool he looks.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying
he's in there early, getting his workout in. He's watching tape by 4:15.
Jeez.
Okay, Cliff. Didn't know that about Cliff. Obviously, Dad Marine from... Of course.
Makes sense.
Should have known this from the beginning. Speaking of looking cool like Cliff Kingsbury and a guy that's grinding 3:30 a.m. every day.
Every day.
9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DBs, Good D, Bad D, and the Man-to-Man podcast, Darius J. Butler. D-Butch, defense coordinator. Is it as easy as you find a good one, your team's good, and if you have a bad one, your team's bad?
No. I mean, it's just about with most other positions, just the guys going to be the same guy every day, and they could get their message across. And then you got to have players that you empower too. And we don't talk about meeting rooms enough, like the different players in each meeting room. I think that's the most
position groups.
Yeah, that's because that's where we spend most of our time, right? We have team meetings. That's where we spend the least time as a team. Unit meetings, offense, defense, special teams, and then DB, quarterback room, running back rooms. The guys you have in those rooms are very, very important. You can look at their teams left. And that's what matters. Coaching matters, obviously, but on this level, the players are what separates the team.
Derek Barnes actually gave the game ball that he got immediately after the Lions win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the linebacker room.
Yep.
He said, hey, this is to the linebacker room. That's kind of like your little family. That's who you're hanging out with. That's who you're learning with. And also, if you guys are getting blamed for losses, the whole room is getting blamed.
That's another name I wouldn't mind seeing getting some DC opportunities. Kelvin Shepard. He's done a good job with that linebacker room in Detroit with a lot of guys, I think, league-wide, you want to look at that and say, oh, that's a great linebacker core, but he's got him in great position all year long.
Yeah, and Shep, by the way, awesome to be around.
Hell yeah.
Great
legendary human. Great mana.
Where's he from?
Kelvin Shepard?
Yeah.
He played for
he played LSU.
Us. Played for Bills, I think.
Yep, Buffalo after Indy.
Dog. As soon as he came in the locker room, be loved by everyone.
Weapon.
Yeah. Great dreads.
Nice.
Great, good vibes.
Great
always vibes. Always great vibes.
Bring him to New England.
But he's very
great communicator too, and he was on Hard Knocks a bunch with what was the young
Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo. So great communicator, great coach.
Love him. Aaron Glenn's defense put on a show this past weekend. Now, everybody assumed that Aaron Glenn was going to the Tennessee Titans, but by everybody, I'm saying everybody we were talking to that would potentially know about anything happening around the NFL, potentially before others, they were saying Aaron Glenn's going to be the Titans' new head coach.
Done.
That's just how that's going to go. It's like they're already interested. He's having the year of his life. It is the perfect timing for him to get a head coaching job. That is going to happen. Then they hire Brian Callahan, which we will talk about here in a matter of moments with AQ as well. But this Aaron Glenn thing, I would like to chat about because the only thing we've really heard is that they fire the secondary coach in Detroit, and then defense becomes great. And you talk about MCDC, you talk about Jared Goff, obviously you talk about Brad Holmes, the job that he's done. You talk about the grit, you talk about everything going on, but you don't really talk about the defense much, and I don't know shit about Aaron Glenn. They'll show him on the sideline. I'm like, oh yeah, I could pick if they did who's Aaron Glenn, I could say that's Aaron Glenn. But I don't really know much about him. Then you started watching his film against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, AQ, and you said, hey, you know how we did a Todd Bowles masterclass type situation? Aaron Glenn played chess against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and out-schemed the shit out of them pretty much and probably won that game for the Detroit Lions.
That's exactly right. I didn't know much about him because all we heard last year was their defense was terrible. They fire the DB coach. They go on a little bit of a run. They've been great this year. But again, Foxy says the narrative on him is it's not good, right? And so I dive into the film and I'm like, well, this is pretty good. And so when you look at it, right here. So, in this particular look, right, you see 5 guys across the line of scrimmage, right? And so 1, 2, the center's covered, then you got over the right guard, and then you got out wide with Hutch, right? So they see that as a 5 down. It's an empty protection. The key here is Anzalone, the linebacker, right? So all the right side is doing from the field is they're going to have to sift. You always want to leave the widest on the quarterback. So check this out. They're looking at him. The minute that Anzalone fires in the A gap, the whole right side, 69, 67, right? They slide down to the left. But here's the key. As 67, Luka Decky goes down, the guy over the guard drops out, so he's got no one to block. He tries to react and get back out on Hutch, but this is a key when you can out-scheme somebody and you get Hutch, one of the best players, pass rushers in the league, one-on-one, or one-on-none, really. Yep. And just a free hitter on the quarterback.
Yeah, because he does a fake come, right? Old buddy on the right tackle who he's something down to. And you always take most dangerous, right?
That's exactly right. You always want to leave the widest.
So this is the widest just so happens to be Aiden Hutchinson.
Just so happens to be. And here's the other key that really kind of confuses Baker here is he sees someone drop out, he thinks he's protected. Because it's a 5-man protection. They're really only bringing 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And so by doing that, they trick him. They get him to sift, but he can't get back out. And Baker thinks maybe, he sees someone pop out. I might be protected.
And Aaron Glenn knew that this was Tampa Bay Buccaneers rules pretty much.
He did, and he did it all game long. He had an answer for all the protections. If they were sliding to the will, he'd get them going there and bring 2 from opposite. I mean, it was all day long, edge pressure. He did a great job.
When those 2 backers drop out, especially a big backer like Campbell, like you take away those quick throws, those quick throws across the middle. So great job, Aaron.
Yeah, listen, Aaron Glenn. I mean, I think Aaron Glenn's family's probably pretty thankful that we just showcased that because nobody's really talking about it. His name was up for head coaching jobs, but we didn't know anything about him. That's back-to-back weeks where you can showcase the football IQ pretty much, and great coaching matters.